All right, today on In Transit, we take a look at the year that was in the automotive industry. A whole bunch of stories to talk about. The semiconductor shortage, electric cars. Was this year the year of the electric car, or is it next year? Or is it the year after that? We'll find out and take a look back at some of the biggest stories right now with our favorite on In Transit. Petrina Gentile joins us, automotive journalist. Hi, Petrina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. So, listen, this is what you do for a living. You cover cars. 2021. What's your top story of 2021 when it comes to the automotive industry?
It has to be the global semiconductor chip shortage because it has affected everything. And it's really kind of nerve-wracking a bit because we don't really have an end in sight. So there are some predictions from analysts that 2022 is also going to be supply issues with those semiconductor chip shortage. And globally, it is expected to cost the auto industry about $210 billion in revenue in 2021, and more than 7 million less units are going to be produced in 2021 because of that chip shortage combined with the pandemic.
How did the vehicle manufacturers deal with the chip shortage this year? What what lengths did they have to go to in order to deal with no chips?
Oh, man. It was really tough on them. And a lot of manufacturers had to close production in Canada and in the U.S. Because of this chip shortage, and around the world as well. But it still is having its effect. There are some that are kind of, improving their production. Toyota is one that's saying that, okay, in the upcoming months, we're going to be at, full capacity, going full speed ahead. But certainly every single manufacturer has had to deal with this. And it's also, affected consumers because consumers had to pay more for new vehicles because they were hard to come by. And they also had to pay more for used vehicles as well because there was a big market for them. And I think like the used vehicle prices were up something like, 22%. In October compared to October of last year. So consumers are taking a big hit because of this shortage.
And Petrina, didn't a lot of car manufacturers take out features? I think Mercedes, not Mercedes, it was BMW took out the touch screen. So they gave you a screen, but you couldn't touch it anymore because they couldn't get the chip to control the touching.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to do whatever they can to deliver the vehicle. So you have to make sacrifices like that. But at the same point, the consumer is the one that suffers in the end. And even, there was a story out today about a Ford dealer in the U.S. that's actually charging a premium to get the Ford F-150 Lightning. That's their all-electric vehicle. Mm-hmm. And they're basically saying, you know what, you got to pay a markup of $5,000 in order to get a guarantee that vehicle is going to be in your hands by the spring of 2022, because that will probably be delayed as well. So the consumers are really taking a hit because of this.
Petrina, and $5,000. I've seen stories for the same vehicle, the Ford F-150, where the dealers in the U.S. are saying we want $20,000 more.
It's ridiculous.
It's great. Now, that's illegal in Canada? Is it? Is it not? Do you know?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Mm-hmm.
All right. It's crazy what they can get away with in the U.S. Free market there. Hey, it's $20,000 more for the car. I know we said we're going to charge you $50,000. Now it's $60,000, and you can't do anything about it. That is crazy.
It is.
But you mentioned the Ford F-150 Lightning. That is probably top of mind when you look ahead to EVs, right? And what's been announced and what's coming, and just how there's this sea change. So let's talk about the other big story of the year, electrification. Everyone finally, and we can actually say it because last week Toyota finally said that, okay, we're going to do it for real this time. We're going electric. Let's talk about the movement, what you saw this year in 2021 when it comes to EVs.
Well, every manufacturer is dumping in lots of money into the electric vehicle platform. Daimler's like 60 billion euros by 2026, GM, Ford, everybody is doing it. And they're all in a rush to get as many electric vehicles on the market as possible because you have these regulations around the world that are coming into effect that are bringing down, we want to have zero emissions, all electric vehicles on the road, no gas combustion engines anywhere from, to 2025 to 2035. So this is a big push, and you're getting a lot of very interesting vehicles. But again, they're backlogged. A lot were promised for this year, but they're being pushed back. The Tesla Cybertruck, we're going to see that a little bit later. A lot of these vehicles, because of the semiconductor chip shortage, are facing that brunt too. But we are definitely seeing a lot more electric vehicles coming to market from everyone from Hyundai to Toyota, as you mentioned, that, you know what, we're going all in with electric vehicles, something that they were hesitant about before. They were banking on everything. They were banking on the gas engine, plug-in hybrids, hydrogen fuel cell cars.
Oh, don't get me started on hydrogen cars. Oh, my God. We're with Petrina Gentile, automotive journalist. The YouTube channel is Motoragazza. Petrina, so this year, I think the last month that we have stats for in Quebec, we were at 11% of new vehicle registrations were fully electric, battery electric vehicles. Okay, in British Columbia they were slightly higher, right? So those are the two leaders in Canada. We're already at 11%. I look at Germany, which in recent months has been 30% of new vehicles. Norway, which has always been a leader because of some of the regulations they've got there, has been 85, 90, close to 100 of new vehicle registrations. Was 2021 the year of the EV, or we still have a little bit of time to go before we get there?
I think we still have a bit more time to go to get there. Especially in Canada, we're really behind compared to other countries. And I think, you need incentives there to sell these vehicles because there is a price premium to go electric. And when you have incentives that are up to $13,000 in Quebec and in BC, it's slightly less, and you have new provinces coming on, that really brings the price down and makes it more affordable for a lot of consumers. Because when you're looking at a price premium, a minimum, $45,000 for a pretty basic car, that's a lot to pay. But if it's coming down to like $30,000, that's more in line with a gas-powered vehicle, and it makes it more attractive for consumers. So, Ford in Ontario keeps on pushing. We want to build like 400,000 electric vehicles by 2030. But he doesn't have the incentives.
It's the other.
He's the one that took the incentives away.
Yeah, the other problem is the other Ford, the premier Ford is the other problem, right?
Yeah.
I called him Rob Ford? It's Doug Ford. Doug Ford. Rob Ford. Rob Ford was the other guy. May you rest in peace. Okay. One last question for you here, Petrina, on the car industry right now and the look ahead to 2022. We got some news this week. Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver auto shows, all canceled. What's going on?
Oh, well, it's this pandemic, the Omicron virus coming up again, and this is really causing concerns for many manufacturers and the auto shows. So they have canceled. They have canceled for 2022. Like you say, Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, the Canadian International Auto Show, the largest one. They say they're going to be back, and not even doing like a virtual or anything. They say they're going to be back for 2023. It'll be the 50th anniversary of the Canadian International Auto Show, so you can expect that to be bigger and better. But what's interesting is the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, which is January 3rd and 4th, are the media days, that is still going on. So, which is quite concerning because that's the one that really started things off, and everyone said that this is the event that really spearheaded the COVID virus in the U.S. because it is the largest show back in 2019, and it's really concerning that it hasn't been canceled yet.
Yeah, listen, I spoke to someone last week on the program who is going for, not for car reasons, but for other tech stuff. I was like, nothing's going to stop him. Like, hey, we've been working for this. I got a product to launch. It's happening, right? So, that's kind of crazy. Petrina, I'll leave you with this on the text line here. I'm getting listeners, and all they want to know about is the electric vehicle subsidies, if they're going to be continued. I have people asking me about the Quebec subsidy because it's right now it's in effect until March of 2022. The federal government electric vehicle subsidy as well. Do you know do you know if those programs, especially on the federal side, do you know if those programs are continuing?
Oh, I don't yet. I hear talk that they are planning to continue, but nothing is confirmed yet. Everything's up in the air. In Ontario, we have election coming up next year, so depending on who comes into power, you might see Ontario the Liberals come back into power, you might see Ontario bringing in those incentives again. It's kind of a wait-and-see game, but
yeah,
you really need them to sell them, I think.
But the other side of this, there is so much demand. Some manufacturers have just said, we have too much demand. We're going to raise our price so it's above the limits just because it doesn't matter. We're going to sell the vehicles anyways. All right, Petrina, you take care. Thank you so much, and I wish you a happy holidays and a splendid holiday season.